Hello and welcome back to Carnation Crafts TV. It's the second hour of the new launch of our Clean and Simple Plus collection. If you've not seen them before, it's a fantastic concept where the matting and layering and the aperture are already pre-sized and done for you. So there's no thinking, you get the perfect aperture every single time. But not just that, you have actually got the pretty poppies with this collection as well. So it's going to give you a beautiful finish with all of your fantastic cards with this. But you can see with the plus ones, when I turn this around, you're getting a lot of metal for your money with this one, as always. The bigger than the usual ones that you get in the kits. With these, you get mainly the die collection. You're still getting the beautiful decoupage layers with it as well. But you can see you're going to make that perfect arched card every single time with that one. The special show price on this one today is $39.99. All available on the website. 250714 if you're wanting to get that one. But this time as well, with this launch, we've also done some extra stamps for you. Now these are gorgeous because these you can build on there. You've got the words, obviously love, but in different fonts and different styles, and these you are getting a lot here, but again pre-sized to make sure they fit with all the Clean and Simple collections. 250718 if you're wanting to get that one, and they again are available on the website. Let's show you some of the fabulous things that you can make with this beautiful collection. Look at this. You are getting the butterfly in the collection as well. The banner that you see there, the only thing really different on there is the stamps. So this could be a collection that you can really add to. The vignettes that you can see, which is the coloured artwork, this is all available to download for free on the website as well. You're just going to go to the download as collection, shall we say, section, download it. Obviously don't just click on the picture, you have to click on the picture and then obviously download it to your computer, and then you can print it out. But you can see by the designs, the different colorways are so beautiful. The artwork is all hand drawn and hand colored, so you can see with this you get that graduation in the colorways to be able to use. You will get the pink and the pink and the red, sorry. You will get the beautiful yellow and orange tones that are in there, and then the traditional red in there too. But you can see how each one looks so different, and the way that you obviously put them together and you use them together is going to give you a different look every single time. You can make and sell with these as well, so these are a real little money spinner, shall we say. This is going to be a little cottage industry if you need it to be, to then obviously make a little bit of profit for you to be able to buy your next range. I know a lot of you do collect the Clean and Simple ranges, but the plus ones are the separate one with pop in between, so then you've got something you can mix and match. This is the Pretty Poppies die set, and you can see you've got all your mats and layers here. You've got that beautiful arch on there too. And then you've got your apertures, the perfect aperture to sit inside each other, to give you that dimension, to give you that shape, and to give you that perfect alignment, which can be so difficult when you are first starting out, or you've been doing it for many years. I wouldn't like to think I'd got to try and get all the mats and layers and then that bit to align. Carnation Crafts have done it all for you. You're going to have your decoupage layers, you've even got your foliage in there, and you've got the butterflies. With the dies, you will actually find, because they've got the piece to hold it in, which is like countersunk so it doesn't mark your cardstock, you'll find it easy then when you actually are die cutting. There's no having to position your dies to make this work for you. And you can see once it's all together how beautiful it can look with your different coloured cardstocks. All the cardstocks are available on the website as well, so do check those out. And if I just show you the other colourway, you can see with this one, this is the traditional red, and then you've got the pink and the more, I would say, pinky tones in this one. You've got your mats and layers. The banner is so handy to have because you can stamp onto that as well. And then you've got your butterflies in different stances. So very useful, something you can use all year round. You can even have your little butterflies sat on the edge. The sizing on these are so well thought through. Now, I do need to let you know we are just starting the second show, and 50% of this stock has already gone. That's how busy we are for this one. We've only done one show, so you can see how quickly this one again is very, very popular and is literally flying out. 250714 on the website. If you want to get it for this special show price today of $39.99, now is your time, because go and order it. You can always then pop back. You can watch this back on Facebook, and you can also watch it back on YouTube, so you're not going to miss anything. But make sure you secure yours, and then these will be dispatched today, so do not worry, these will be going out today. So if you buy it now, you could get this tomorrow. Now let's do a little demonstration. So I've cut out 2 of the large base cards. Again, I will score about 1.25 inches, that right down to the edge there where it changes shape. That gives me a good anchor to put my card together. And with carnation cards, you know, they always give you a great, let me just move that piece out. They will always give you a great card blank base, so you're not hunting around looking for shapes to put your cards onto. You've always got that perfect shape ready for when you have your cards. I've used some of the perfect papers on the next layer, but you can see how beautifully they go together. To have that fine detail in there, I know I'll have probably done it myself at home and it looks like that. Wasted my cardstock. You will not waste cardstock with this, because each and every time it's perfect. It's been measured and thought out for you. Plus then it gives you that little bit of confidence, and it also gives you that chance to try a different shape. Yes, you can use this landscape, you can use it portrait, you can then add to it whatever you want to do. I was saying before, if you want to add the aperture, you can. You might want to use some of the other dies and cut it out, so you've got a double aspect of aperture. You can do that too. But again, landscape, portrait, doesn't matter. You might not even want the aperture on it. You might just want the card blank shape. As we were saying before, it looks more then like a door and things like that. So very simple to use. Now, the artwork, you can see they are a good stance. They're a good size. If I bring the pinflair glue in, it's nearly the size of the tube of the glue. So these aren't little teeny tiny ones you're going to struggle with. This is going to be your main feature, so easy to use. Shaping into this and just adding that little bit of detail on there. I just like to bend it a little bit. I just think it gives it a little bit more movement and play with your cards as well. So now we're going to attach this. I'm using my pinflair, but you can use your foam pads or whatever you want to use. Just adding this onto here, and that's going to layer up beautifully onto the card. Just always give it that little bit of wiggle room with it, and then you'll find it's easier. Now with me, I wanted to give the base a little bit more coverage, so I am adding a few more of the foliage in, but that's just me. You know, once you get this, you could add so many other bits, so many other different pieces that you've got from carnation as well, because a lot of the sizes, like the little mice and things like that, and elements you've got left over from other kits, are going to fit really well with this. So again, look at what you've got on your desk and add that in as well. So just pulling this into here, adding that little bit of glue with my glue applicator. This is the everyday glue because I want this a little bit more flatter. But again, you can see it looks like it's growing a little bit more with that. Then I've got my decoupage layers. With these, I like to just separate them and just give them a little bit of a curve on the edge, curl them inwards rather than outwards, shall we say. And with this then, it just gives it more of a natural look. Yes, you could put glitter on these, you could add the centre, you could add little black beads and things like that if you wanted to. But as they are a little bit of, you know, gold embossing powder or glitter glue, that would look amazing too. Now just adding the shape into this one, and this is going to be on here, but you will find these are going to be quick and simple if you want them to be. But if you want them to be more, you've got then that beautiful foundation to take it to whatever level you want. I'm now just adding in the little diamond sentiment there, and I don't mind them just slightly hanging off my card. I think it just adds that little bit of detail sometimes, and because sometimes we do become quite frightened of adding different shapes, don't we? Now this is one of the sentiments. I've mixed it together and I put happy birthday on there, so that's going to sit beautifully on there. I'm proper wonky today, aren't I? And then I've got my little butterfly, and I've used the one that's on just like the one wing, as if he's flying in, and I'm going to add the butterfly just to sit onto the flowers. But this is really simple, very easy, very quick, so you could make quite a few of these in one afternoon. You could sit, make sure you got your pro print paper, print everything out, and then you'll find it easy to make the most classic, stylish, like boutique style of card through using this incredible die set. Like I say, it is on a special show price of $39.99, available all on the website with your glues, your free downloads of your vignettes and everything else. And if you did want the stamps, we have got those. They are $7.99 as well. But you can see it gives it a beautiful finish with those on there too. 250718 of those as well. But with the plus ones, as always, they give you more. You've got more size, you've got more dimension with that, and you can see with the colours, these are going to stand so proud on any of your displays when you are at your shows and selling these, and people will be captivated by them as well. Not capsulated, captivated even. And they are going to love these for you to get that beautiful finish on your cards. Now, let's do another one, shall we? I'm changing it up this time. I'm going to be using more of those beautiful yellow tones that are in there. And I love that it's got the softer tones and it's also got that brighter tone. And if you actually look at the artwork, it looks like somebody has actually airbrush these. They are so perfect. Remember, with your vignettes, all designed in-house and coloured by the fantastic team here as well. But you can see with these double-sided, so if you've not seen the vignettes before, you print it off A4 size, score it in half, little bit of spray adhesive, and then use your dies, cut them out, and this then will give you a double-sided one, so then you can utilise these in so many more different ways. With this, I've cut out two of the base ones again this time. And I love that I don't have to search for a base card, because sometimes you might make the most incredible topper, but then what do you do with it? This is going to give you that beautiful polished look. I would also use it on its, I would use it on its own, like so. And like you say, you could punch a hole in it. You could make a fabulous tag. You can then make it look like a door if you wanted to, like say, put score lines on it. If you use craft card and then inked it a little bit, you could make like a beautiful door, put a little letterbox on there and a little handle. It could be a new front door on there as well. Then using my Perfect Papers, this has got that beautiful colour that, again, I don't know which collection it's from, because obviously I tend to use the colours. Could be any of them, I'll be honest, but this is what I'm saying. I just get different bits that I get to use, and honestly, this would be so easy for you to grab and just to use, so don't ever worry about it. You will always have something that coordinates. Even if you'd have gone for the green that I used before, you could use the green with it. You can see the colour tones, the Pantones. That's what Carnation are really always good at. You're never left with something that you can't use on something else. I love that everything blends together and it's seamless with your collection. Now this time we're going to position the flower in the centre, so the actual aperture is going to be like your backdrop. This is going to give you that drop shadow on there as well. So just bending the flowers again to give this the base before we decoupage it. And it gives, and if you do bend it as well, it gives it more areas for the light to catch it and things like that. But also you'll find then when you add to this, you've got more of an indentation to add your glue to, so you know where you're gluing it, so it doesn't look flat. Because again, I just personally don't like things, you know, like everybody likes a curved wall or a curved bath, you know, a roll top bath and things like that. This is the same with your cards. Add that dimension to it. And you can see with the artwork, it's got that flow, it's got that movement just on its own. You know, I'm sorry, things like that. You've got those on there too. Then taking the decoupage layers. With these as well, if you wanted to, I just wanted to show you, you could tuck those in and follow it all the way around the edge on the little diamond shape. So you could add those on there if you wanted to, and just celebrate the actual aperture, and then just add a sentiment to your card. But I do think if you've got your beautiful, elegant swirls, oh my dear, today, honestly. You could have swirls. I'm thinking if you've got any of the hanging Christmas baubles, things like that, this would look great on there. Now, with this one, because obviously I'm going to put the banner across it, I felt it needed a little bit of fullness. Can you see what I mean? So I'm going to add this other bit of foliage just there. Can you see? So it just gives it that little bit more movement on there. So we're going to attach this. This one I am just going to glue at the bottom, but not at the top. So then I can pinch this top bit and again give it a bit of movement and play. But that will then just make it a little bit fuller. I've taken the banner, and with the banner what I've done is I've cut it in half, okay, because we're going to overlap it, and I'm going to use that like that on the card, so it will hang off slightly. What I've done is flat in the middle, thumb and finger, and all I've done is curved the outside. So now I've got like a curvature to it. So do that on both sides, and then what I'm going to do is then just glue this on the flat bit that we did onto there, and I'm going to use this little side and glue the flat bit onto that side. So again, it looks like it's flexing and moving on the card. So just let's just stick these down and get this in the right place, and they are just going to stick just there. So that's now looks like it's on the card. Then I've got my little sentiment. We're going to add this in the center. I know it's white on white, but I wanted it more to be about the artwork rather than the sentiment in this one. And this is just going to sit on my two pieces. So let's just anchor that down, and that's going to sit there. So it looks like the band is actually stretched across the card. Then I've got my butterfly, and again with these, yes, you can add them in different areas, but because the main feature is balanced there, I'd have to put one butterfly there and another butterfly there to give it a stance. I'm actually going to put the butterfly there in the middle, so it all looks then as it's flowing up the card, because sometimes you can look at it and then think, well, it needs a butterfly, so you put a butterfly there. Then you add a bow because you need to balance it out. With this, if you position it in the right place, you don't need to add anything else. And you can see now that is literally swerving up the card, and it's giving it that factor. And you imagine if you've got, because I'm thinking with these, you know, if you've got, have you seen those glass cloches that you can get? You could, yeah, it's like a glass dome, and it's got a wooden base. I've seen it when people do projects like cards like this, and then they put it under the glass. Yeah, so you could put it in the, and I have, yeah, it could be like a display case. So you imagine if you did that and then you added a few more butterflies to it or something like that. That would be, oh, hang on. See, I'm having one of them days. I have, dear me, I've never known it. Everything's falling off, jumping off my cards. I think it is quite warm in here today, I'm not going to lie to you, so it could just be with the heat in here. The glue's drying that quick before it's even clung, I think. There we go. But honestly, think about artwork. Think about this as well. If you wanted to, you could do a loop of ribbon on the top. You could have this one at the top, and then you could have another one with the ribbon and have it like a hanging banner. You know what I mean? If I hold it like that, you can see. You could have it like a hanging banner with ribbon in between, and you could do it in the 3 different colourways. That'd be nice on a wall. So you can do that. I'll show you some of the ones that we did earlier while we're in between, so you can see with this. Look, so these are the 2 that we've done so far, different colourways, adding a different splash of colour, doing more white on white with this one, changing it and angling it and doing it more sideways like that, but then also adding a fold to the front, so just making it more of a pop-out concept card. But with that, it will then squeeze and fold flat, so you can put it in an envelope. But then if you just want to do an easel card, because of the shape, as always, you can always make your easel cards with this. So you can see already there, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different designs that you can do with this card. And there is so many more. It's the artwork, it's the shape with the aperture that is giving you this prestige shape on your cards. and it just looks so beautiful. Like I say, details are now on the screen if you are wanting to get this fantastic clean and simple. This is your Pretty Poppies collection at $39.99. It's a lovely collection that will mix in with some of your others, but with them being the plus size, you've now got that super size to make larger cards with. $39.99 is your show price today, so don't miss out on that one today. Now, we have got the fabulous stamps, so if you're wanting to get those, not very often we do them separately. They normally come in the main Clean and Simple kits, but with this one, we wanted to give you this kit's a bit bigger, so we wanted to give you some extra stamps. These are only $7.99, but such a useful collection on there. You've got well done, you've got so sorry, enjoy your day, birthday wishes, with love, happy anniversary, thinking of you, happy birthday, and good luck. And you've got that, but in two different fonts altogether. One's more of a script, one's more of a bold font. So really nice to have. And any of your cards or tags, they're going to work really well. So let's do another card. Let's do this. So this time I wanted to make it look like these are growing in the card, so we can do that as well. So as always, I've cut my base and we're going to add this in and just work this on to here. So just taking my finger lift tape off, all available on the website. Have a look on there. Your foam on a roll and everything else is there. So just add in this like so. But if you wanted to, like I say, you could leave that like that. I'll just show you some ideas. You could have your leaves and your foliage, you could add different elements in there, and you could just have that as a glorious tag. Yep, you could add your sentiment at the top and just put that on there, but that is all you need. You don't have to do a lot more than that if you don't want to, but if you want to, with the mats and the layers and everything else, this is where now you can start leveling up. You can inject into it as much as you want, and at the end of the day, when you're making your cards, if you're just doing white on white, it's a cost-effective way to make your cards. You're not using all your fancy cardstocks. But if you're somebody who has got the clean and perfect papers cardstocks, your life is going to change, because you can see instantly. All I tend to do is lay out all my cardstocks, and then I kind of go through, see which one goes with it, and I thought, oh god, that just matches amazingly well. I'm going to say I've not got any other cardstocks in it, but I would have shown you. If not, I could have laid that together. But because like I say, I don't always get full kits. I might get a few sheets of one colour, some of the others, and plus as well, if you have got some of the other Clean and Simple things, I've stuck that down, and I need to look at me talking. Good job I didn't press it down into it. Oh, that saved it. Oh, today. So what I'm going to do now, I wanted to show you then, is thread this through. Okay, so I wanted it to look like, again, it's growing out of the aperture. I'm fastening that onto there. I am going to cut some bits away once I've fastened them down, just to get rid of some of the bulk that is in the back. Then I'm going to add my next piece in, and this again, I'm just tucking this into here. And hopefully you can see, again, it just gives you a different style with it. And I like doing things like that, because it does make it so different. Then I've got some of the extra foliage bits that I've got here as well. And what I'm going to do with these is just add some of these in between. So again, it's adding to the space and giving you that little bit. I think it was that one actually that I want. It's that one. And I'm just going to add that in, and you can see then it starts to fill the space, tucking the other bits behind it. I don't glue it down. I kind of hold it and do the bouquet how I want it to be. And that will sit on there. So this now can go back on my card. Now I know what I'm doing, and I can add that onto there. This is where then I do go in with my glue, and I put a little bit underneath just to anchor in some of those little pieces where I want it, and build this up. So again, just keeping hold of everything and just tucking the glue underneath is going to be the best way to do it, because otherwise you end up, you stick bits down and you think, oh, I need to lift that up, it needs volume. Whereas with this, I can just go in and just add where I need it, and you can see instantly we've already started to dress that. then what I'm going to do then is bring in some of the extra bits that I did cut off, and we're going to add some of these this side. So can you see it's starting to bring the design, because at the moment it's very full on that side and it's teetering a little bit. So let's bring this in, a little bit of glue, and we are then going to push these in underneath the other flowers, but this is just going to give it that balance and that fullness with this. Snipping off these bits because we don't want to waste anything, but we don't need those bits either. And what I'm going to do is just fill out this bit here. So always have a look first before you stick it down. But you can see already we're getting that more like a bouquet, that bloom style to this. So adding that in there. And then I'm going to take this bit again. I'm going to do a bit of snippage because you know what I'm like. Because I just think it's so handy that you can snip them and make them to what size you want them to be as well. Now with this one, I am going to tuck this up here. So now you've got that fullness all over. Okay, so really, really simple to do. And if you're thinking, I could never do that, yes you can. Just don't commit to the stick. Always have a play about with it first before you stick it down, and then take a picture on your phone, and then you can always go back and recreate what you've done. Now because we've got all those flowers there, I do feel it needs a few more flowers in there to add that fullness. So this is where then I am separating this up, and because you've got them embossed cut lines, they're easy to snip in between. So I'm just now going to go in and I'm going to add a few of these. I'm going to put, I'll show you what I do when I'm prepping and I'm doing this home. I'm going to put one way, and then I'm going to do one the other way. So can you see how it builds it up? I'd never stick it down till I'm sure, and then I think, oh right, that's how I want it to look. And then that's where you then start building rather than having to add too many to your card. And it does make it a very simple and easy way for you to make them. Can you see? So now we've got that fullness. It looks like you've got a few growing out. You've got that little bit of foliage in there as well. But these now have got that formation on there. We're going to use one of the triangles. It's not a triangle, it's a diamond. We're going to use the diamond just here. And I'm going to use one of the smaller ones with the Enjoy Your Day on it. I'm just going to pop that just there. But you can see already we've got that lovely look. Now to join the two, what I am going to do is just add the butterfly in there. And that's going to join the two rather than it looking like the flowers and then the sentiment. By adding that in between, just catching the bottom of that and the top of that, that will then join this project together. You might want that separation. That is fine. But if not, always add a joining piece. Could be something tiny like that butterfly, but again you can see you've got the joy, you've got the join, you've got the flow of that, and that will work on there. So hopefully that again will show you different style, obviously different age groups as well, depending on how you do your cards and the colors that you use and the style that you use. You can see more, if you want just your classic lines, you can do your classic lines, but if you want it to look more organic and you want to give it your own spin, easy to bring it round. And snipping into it, you wouldn't think you could create then a bouquet, but you can. And I think sometimes as well, these look a bit like peonies, like large peonies. So at a distance, you know what I mean? If you're not a gardener like me, we're going to go with that. It looks a little bit like a peony, but really, really lovely. Now, let's show you some of the other examples that the design team have done, but not using, obviously, they've used the shape, but different artwork, but using it as a card blanket on its own. I love that shape. It really looks great. You will have lots and lots of bits. I know what you like. Leftover, I'm exactly the same. I get sent bags with little bits left over, and I love then to bring the styles and the shapes into these cards, and you can see how gorgeous these look. Look at this one. This is just using the archway, so like the waste out of the cardstock has been used to create this beautiful arched doorway. So please think of it. You could have like a picture of a walled garden behind there or something like that. It could be she's walking into a country garden. It could be she's walking into a courtyard. There's so many different stories you can tell with these fabulous designs. And like that one, look at that. using elements that you've got for celebration, invitations, save the dates. And like with that one, so sorry, as a sympathy card, you've got the foliage, you've got the butterflies from the collection, even the little element that looks like a little window. This is going to look absolutely stunning. Look at this, these little mice on there, and they're looking up at the dragonfly as well. So I was thinking as well with this would look incredible if you punched holes in it and made it into bunting. How gorgeous would that be for bunting as well? And I did say in the earlier show, and if you missed it, if you put two together and hinged it on a card, you could then make a gatefold card. You've seen that you can make an easel card with this one. Such a pretty design as always. Now, look at this one. Just using the butterflies, just using the shapes of the dies, and it's double lined in there as well. So they've lined the bottom and they've lined the top. That looks really, really classy. You've got that elegance in there. It could be a new baby card, it could be sympathy. You've got it all. But really, really nice to have all of those in there. And that is the design team samples as well. So that will give you that beautiful look. But remember, over 50% of the stock of this has now gone. This is the show price of $39.99, and like I say, only just into the second show. We are so busy again. Thank you everybody for being there and joining me this afternoon. It's lovely to know that you're all there with me, and obviously on YouTube and on Facebook as well this afternoon. I don't know what the weather's doing outside. I don't know. Bit great. I hope everybody's all right. I would say we had thunderstorms yesterday. I don't know if you did up. Oh, you had them up here as well, did we? Yep, thunderstorms and everything, so it's best to stay inside and make your cards. I'm just saying, it's a lot easier. Now, what I'm going to do is make another little card, but this time I actually cut two, but I've used my perfect papers on one and then the white one as the base. So don't be frightened to mix and match your bases as well with this one. And then I've got all my different layers. And you can see this is going to be beautiful on here as well. So just taking this off. But this time we're going to be using they're not lemons, they're orange. I'm going to use the orange. Oh, honestly, my poor bunny who's with me today, she's going to be like, she makes no sense. She makes no sense at all today, this one. Well, she says I weren't much different to normal, but you know. Just add this onto it. Look how crisp this looks. And the edge. You've got that beautiful curve. Rather than it being a normal archway, it goes up into that slight point, which for me, I just think it looks a little bit more fancy. Really does. And with Clean and Simple, you always find it looks classic and it looks beautiful on there. So I'm going to add this in. Now, we've had lots and lots of people messaging in, so thank you. That's great. I had a message from Soph without the I in. Oh, she says thank you. You always make it look so easy. It is easy. With the Clean and Simple, it really is. Like with this, all I've done is alternate the cardstock. So I do like alternate that, and you've got an instant wow factor. You don't need to add a lot. Even if you just put one tiny piece on, you've got a great card. You don't have to think about it. It's really not difficult, believe you me, because if it was, they wouldn't let me do it. They wouldn't let me do it. Oh, Yvonne, she says she ordered hers last night. She says beautiful demo. So thank you. Yours will be winging its way to you. Yvonne, you should get this tomorrow, so do not worry. Instant dispatch. And we've got Jane. Oh, she's ordered it this morning from lovely Jane. So she's ordered hers as well. So thank you so much, ladies, for taking the time to message in. Now, I just want to show you this bit. Look at that. That would look beautiful. You know, if you've got like any religious dies or anything like that, because it looks a little bit like a star. Obviously, it looks like the window in there. But if you wanted to, you could put acetate behind it and things like that. But look how gorgeous that dimension and shape is. Really, really cute. And like I say, I think that's what makes me think it's a door and things like that. You know, it's got that magical look about it. But add it in. You could actually add a little bit of gold cardstock behind to make it look a little bit like a mirror if you wanted to, but luxury every time with that one. Now with this one, what I've done is I've actually taken the image 3 times, okay, but with this one I've cut into it, and you'll see again I've cut it at an angle. I never kind of cut them square. I never cut them because to me the artwork on it otherwise it just looks wrong. So what I've done here is, because we're going to flip some and have it, so again we're building a cluster, we're building a design, and because I can flip them, can you see, you can build it up and have that fullness there with all the flowers, and that just looks really, really great, because then once my sentiment's on, that's going to cover all the bits underneath, so it does look fabulous on there. Let's add our main piece, and again, shape up, shape out. That shake it all about this morning. Well, I say this morning, it's this afternoon now, I do apologise. When you get in the studio, because there's no windows, you don't know if it's day or night. You've got no idea what's happening in the world. So just add that onto there. But just that aperture, it really draws the eye in, and it gives you that feature on there too. And I love the different colourways. For me, that's the exciting bit, because I haven't always got time to sit and colour. I do like to colour, I must admit. I like to watercolour and things like that. But you know, when a professional can do it for you, let them. And obviously Carnation Crafts, they really do. It's all designed in-house, and it gives you that perfect colour balance. Perfect, look at that, you've got the depth of colour with the shade right up to the lighter one, and it is just, look at these. Until you've actually held it in your hand or you've printed it out, the detail, the cut lines in there are just magic. Now I know a lot of you at the shows were like, oh, mine doesn't look the same. It's because what you're printing it on. We had a lot of this at the show, and we showed people, I printed out, before we went, I printed out a normal copy of paper, and I printed out as well onto ProPrint to show people the difference that it will make to your projects. And people were like, yeah, I get it now, I understand, because I know sometimes it's hard on camera to show you the difference, but honestly people were like blown away by how different the vibrancy of colour. Remember with your ProPrint though, you print on the smoothest side. When you touch it, one side is just slightly, I'd say, like fluffy, and the other side is super smooth. Just make sure you know which side you're printing on, because that was something as well. So as a top tip, make sure and just check. Normally when you get it out of the box, it is the right way up, but you know what we like sometimes, we put stuff down and we mix it up and we forget. So do check that out. All on the website as well. We've got the mini kits. If you want to try it, if you've never tried it before, you can do so on there. So I'm just adding my little sentiment because I want to tuck this one in underneath there as well, just to give that fullness and that shape to the front as well. So that is just going to sit just in there, so they look like they're all cascading out of there, and we've got that detail on there. Then I've got my little butterfly, and this time I am just going to place this just off there because there's so much going on here. I am just going to place my butterfly just up here, just a tad. So again, little bit just on the body. The wings are shaped and molded out, and then we're just going to put that there. But again, it's joining. Can you see what I mean about the joining? The top is joining the top of the card, this is joining that bit, but it all just blends down the card. So it is all about balance, and sometimes it is just getting it right. So play around with the balance of your cards and the designs, but you can see so different. Again, you've got that feature, like a feature window in there, encasing that lovely flower with the butterfly as well. And like I say, the stamps are available individually if you want to add those in, but don't forget they will fit in as well with any of the other Clean and Simple collection as well. You've got an incredible kit right here for you, launching today right here on Carnation Crafts TV. We do bring you the Clean and Simple kits every 4 to 6 weeks as well, but with that, obviously, you know, with this collection, the plus one, this is an extra one that we bring in to give you those super size dies in this one. Yes, it will mix with the others, but it is a standalone kit on its own. And you can see with this one, the idea of it is perfect apertures, perfect alignment, perfect matting and layering. So for $39.99, this is going to work in with everything that you need. 250714. Check out your baskets on the website. A lot of you have been asking for the details on the stamps, so we're now going to show you those. These are your pretty poppy sentiment stamps, but you can use them with any of your projects. You'll find you've got the same word but in 2 different fonts, so giving you that different design. $7.99 for those if you wanted to get those today and pop them in your basket too. 250718 for those as well. So really easy, as you can see with Love, you've got it in the different fonts and things like that. So you choose how you want to mix it up as well. So you might have the Well in the soft font and then Done in the bold font. You get to choose. It gives you a little bit more scope to design. $7.99 is a great price for those stamps as well, to be able to mix in with other collections. Now let's show you the boards, because if you have just joined us, where have you been? Have you been having your dinner or a little sleepy? Join us now just to go through the boards, just to check exactly what you are getting. You can see with these are large dies. I'm just going to bring that in to show you. These are the Clean and Simple Plus. With this one, as always, you get the mats and layers in there, so you haven't got to worry. You've always got a base card. You've got a starting point for whatever you do. These are countersunk into the cards, the aperture. So all you've got to do is lay on the layer on top of layer when you die cutting them out, and that's all you have to do. You don't have to work out where to put the aperture. The aperture is already in the design, so that makes it so much easier for beginners and also intermediate and advanced, or even if you're batch making. I'm not being funny. Invitations, if you had to do that, you would have given up a long time ago. This is done for you. You've got your banner in there that you can use to make a ribbon, to make a sash on your cards, and everything like that. You've also got these extra diamonds, so if you've got one there, you could then cut another one out here, so you can make it that, is it argyle? Is that the right word? I think, you know, like, I'm trying to explain to my producer, lovely Bunny, you know, like, is it, you know, like the jumpers, you can get argyle. Is it argyle? Am I saying that wrong? I don't know. Yeah, it's like, it's got like diamonds on it. It's got like a diamond pattern. Yes, like for golfing, something like that. Yes, she knows what we mean now. I'm not that old. She knows what I mean. She's only a whippersnapper, bless her. She's beautiful, but she's very young. So with this one, you can see you've got those. You could use those separately on their own. You could link them together. You could have some inset. You could have it decoupage. You could have it stackpage. You could do whatever you want. This is your main design of your floral. So you can see even with your floral, it's a big size. These are not teeny tiny. This is going to be easy for you to use. Butterflies in there, which are just an added bonus. They really, really are. Every little bit of the metal area has been used to make sure, even giving you that extra bit of foliage. So if you want to add bits in and decoupage that up, you have those in there. And then just to show you the extra different colorways you're going to get in here. Obviously, you are going to get the yellow colorway, but then you get the traditional red and then the pink version as well. Now, do remember, the artwork you're looking at here is downloadable in the free download selection on Carnation Crafts website. So while you're placing your order and you're doing all that, go to the downloads. This will probably be at the top because it's obviously been released today. But obviously, if you check back a week later, fortnight later, it might be slightly further down. This will be on there as well. So you've got all those lovely designs on there for you to see. And the detail is incredible. It's second to none. And it does look beautiful on there as well. So do think about getting something different if you want to with your Clean and Simple. This is now your chance to put your little spin on it as well. Now, just to show you some of the examples, and like I say, I don't mind if you copy mine, you make them, you sell them, that's absolutely fine. I'm not precious, I do not mind. But if you do use any of the design team cards, I would honestly say to you, please, you know, just give them a thank you and say that you've used them. That would be great, because they work so hard, the design team do. But each and every one of these is different. You've got, yes, you might have the same art, but you can see the artwork in different colours looks different. If you make it into a cluster, if you add them together and make it, you can make the flowers look so different with your designs, and that's what Clean and Simple is all about. They are my cards, so I don't mind knocking mine out of the way. I am a bit more gentler with the design team cards. Do not worry at home. Then you can see with this one, you've got those beautiful detail on there with the flowers. Butterflies have been tucked in there to add that. But it's the stance of it. It's the look of this as well. And with these, I'm just thinking you could again make them into pockets and things, in scrapbooks and things like that. And pop, you know, like your tickets if you've been somewhere and things like that. Or if you were really wanting to do something special for somebody, it might be a sympathy card. Because of the window, you could put somebody's photograph in there, which would be nice. Or a new baby. If it's a new baby card, it could be somebody's 50th or 60th. It's always nice to have that area to put little small numbers on. Sometimes, you know, my sister's got a big birthday this year. She is not going to want big numbers on a card. But I do feel she needs some numbers. So having that area just to put a 50 on is going to be fabulous. You've got the banner in there. You can add your own gems, add your own detail to it. But the design team always go incredible with these. And you can see how with this one, they've mixed the pink with the red. So make sure you get out your cardstocks. I showed you how to pick the colours with those. This is beautiful. Now, I have to say a massive thank you to everybody. I've had a fabulous time here at Carnation Crafts again. This is your Clean and Simple Plus collection. This is your perfect poppies. Just available and launched today here. It is all on the website, so make sure you check it out. But over 50% of the stock has now gone. You are going to be after super fast. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I will see you all soon. Laura will be back soon as well, so then you can make sure you get your carnation fix, because that's what it's all about.